Okay, so we are live. So I'll just give it a moment just to allow people to come into the room. I can see a few familiar faces there already. Hi, Bertha. Hi, Michael. Good to see you all, Liam, as well. Great to have you all joining us. Hi, Kerry. Do let us know where you're watching from in the chat. I'll just run through a small bit of housekeeping. We've had a lot of registrations, interested people in this session, so there's a few new faces here. So you are able to chat to each other, you'll be able to ask questions. Feel free to ask questions throughout the session. We will be going to them at the end of the session, but I will try to ensure that we answer all of your questions. If you are watching this on demand, feel free to reach out to myself or Dr. Musa to ask any questions you might have. I will try to make sure that this session, the presentation, is available with the recording at the end of the session, at the end of today. So I will make a start. So as I mentioned, with me today from the Sudan Meteorological Service, I have Dr. Musa, who will be sharing with us their work and experiences in a topic that I think can be very relatable to a lot of you joining this session, perhaps in different ways, whether political or possibly in a more weather or natural disaster related aspects. But that topic is restoring climate services in conflict-ridden Sudan and generating early warning information amid insecurity. So please, Dr. Musa, begin for us.
Hi. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone, depending on where you are based. I'm happy to join you or to share our experience of Sudan Meteorological Authority through Varisian Network. My name is Qasim Ibrahim Jis Musa. I'm the head of Early Warning Unit at Sudan Meteorological Authority. Thank you for attending, and happy to have you here in this webinar. And also thank you, Kati, for organizing and making this event to happen. So my presentation is in restoring climate service in conflict-ridden Sudan and generating early warning information amid the insecurity. So the outline of this presentation is to take you through the situation pre-conflict and also the rescue plan we made for handling the situation, and also the situation after the war has conflict has started. So there are also key achievements that I want to share and the challenges we are facing. So pre-conflict, there was an ongoing activities in Sudan Meteorological Authority. We are working on improving our data and forecasting systems through projects like early warning projects implemented by CIMA and FMI, Finland Meteorological Institute support. There are also an ongoing GCF proposal with UNEP Sudan aims to improve early warning systems, while other projects like also FAO, DRESA are also in progress. And also the cruise and water at heart were announced. That's the situation. And also for our observation network, we were having like 24 traditional weather stations around the country, and also 64 automated weather stations. The breakdown of them is like 45 AWS, automatic weather station of European origin. Use of 18-month managed by this authority, Sudan authority, state authorities, sorry, state authorities, We have 18 states around Sudan. And also we have 27 stations managed by SMA. 12 AWS are of Chinese origin. We also have 6 Cat1 airport stations, 1 Cat3 station at Khartoum Airport. And also there is one Radisson at SMA headquarters. 4 servers, 8 servers and forecasting models were in the headquarters and airport. So we had the conflict started on the 14th of April last year, almost 14 months. Then we lost access to our headquarters because it is near to the area of conflict. After losing the headquarters and many of our resources, we were facing difficulties to access. So SMA has formed this emergency or rescue plan to the service. It's also important to in the conflict zones, it's to adapt to the changing context. That's ensured because the dynamic situation of the conflict in Sudan make us to have robustness or at least adapting capacity. So our goal for this rescue plan was to improve the capacity of rescuing weather and climate, the capacity for rescuing weather and climate services in this fragile context of Sudan. The key components were to establish an operational emergency office to facilitate the rapid response weather and climate emergencies, and also to implement a data rescue initiative to recover and utilize historical weather data, because we have a huge archive that is has more than 100-year record of data. It is in the main headquarters that we lost access to that headquarter, and that we need to recover the data that we have. We have digitized one and also an undigitized archive. It's there at the headquarters. We were trying to digitize, but not fully digitized. We lost access, and then we have rescue is one of the key components for this plan. Also, enhancement of technical capacity of National Meteorological Authority to improve forecasting accuracy and service delivery. And also to strengthen the collaboration with partners to leverage the expertise and resources of more comprehensive weather and climate services. Also, the seamless integration of the rescue plan with existing projects to maximize the synergies and avoid any duplication of efforts. We are collaborating with the CIMA project, and NURCAP experts are at SMA to assist us in the climate service and numerical weather prediction, and our regional partner ICPAC, Cruise, and Water at Heart climate service projects. Also, the component, a key component is to preserve a momentum for aligning with the early warning for all initiative and other regional and international framework of disaster risk reduction. So until now, the key achievement of our rescue plan is to establish an emergency office in Port Sudan, which is a coastal city. It is along the Red Sea coast. We establish an emergency office there. And also our staff has also get an office in Egypt Meteorological Authority. So we have an office in Egypt and also in ICPAC, Nairobi here. Hosted 3 experts from Sudan Meteorological Authority and NURCAP experts who were working with us during the last 3 years in Khartoum. They mobilized to ICPAC, to IGAD. So CIMA project has a rescoping and implementing early warning and impact-based forecast, and strengthening the state sectors, collaboration, and humanitarian response. SMA continues the data collection in Port Sudan via the phone calls. As you know, the technical system is not accessible, so still where the stations where there is no conflict, they are still sending the data via phone calls due to the technical issues. And also the SMA has successfully retrieved or recovered 50% of historical data from 29 stations through an ICPAC Calypso project. Also, active participation in significant events in the region for Sudanese SMA delegates. For example, Climate Africa Week and COP28 and the GACOF, which is the Greater Horn of Africa Climate Outlook Forum. We actively participated in these events. And also the utilization of communication channel to disseminate the information like emails, WhatsApp, and Facebook. Our channels are working to disseminate this information. Also, during this conflict, we have managed to have a new website, which is a content-based website supported by WMO and officially launched on the World Med Day, 23rd of March this year. Collaboration. Also, one of the achievements is a collaboration with the key partners like WMO, ICPAC, CIMA, NORCAP, Resurgence at the Raja, and Egypt Met. Also, the Cruise and Water at Heart funding projects. So here is our engagements, and our director, the PR of Sudan Meteorological Authority, was addressing the issue at the COP28 here on the left. And on the right, also she is with the CIMA Research Foundation Management collaborators, all of them just willing to help Sudan Meteorological Authority. And this is a website I mentioned in the last or earlier. It is a development of CMS, content-based management website, which is supported by WMO and ICPAC, was providing us with the service to compile and establish the website. It is designed specifically for climate services for African countries. Sudan is among the few countries which has benefited from this, and our website is now up and running. And this is a picture from the website. You can see there is a map viewers, the weather forecast presentations, and also linking with all our channels like YouTube, WhatsApp, Facebook. Everything is linked. It's a very good step for us to have this kind of website, which is designed to be compatible with climate services. The template is done by WMO, and we are now at operational level. During this conflict also, we have a significant step that we did, which is organize the first National Climate Outlook Forum for Sudan, which we called SANCOF 1. As you know, the extreme weather and climate threaten the economic, social, and sustainable development in many countries, including us in Sudan. And the increased weather and climate services, along with the complication caused by the conflict in the country, destroying the institutions, infrastructure, and hindering the normal lives of citizens, has made the situation worse in Sudan. And for that, SMA and National Council of Civil Defense organized this first National Climate Outlook Forum. For this, we got supported by IFRC and Save the Children. So this forum was the theme of this forum was coordinated early warning system for early action. Sankofa is a significant step for us towards addressing the climate issue, particularly in light of the challenges we are facing in Sudan. So this forum aimed to review and update the map of the sectoral partners, because most of the partners were based in Khartoum, where they are not accessing also the services as we are. So we need to remap them and expand their participation to understand and identify the needs of climate services and information. We bring together these sectors with SMA in co-production sessions to increase their effectiveness, the effectiveness of climate service, and build a common platform for coordination and communication. The Sankof 1 included announcement of seasonal forecasts for temperature and rainfall in Sudan, which we call JJAS June, July, August, September season, JJAS 2024. It identifies the potential risk associated with this forecast, highlighting the available opportunities for the season, which was above normal forecast all over the country, and its recommendations. Also, we advised a guideline to assist developing strategies for managing the climate vulnerability, vulnerable economic and social sectors, and mitigation to the potential risks associated with this rainy season. Also, the Sankofa witnessed active participation from the users of climate information, including the partners, relevant sectors, disaster management, agriculture and food security, livestock, water resource, health, media, and civil society organizations. All of them participated actively in the conference. There is also one of the achievements, as I mentioned, we have seconded at IGAD Climate Prediction and Application Center, SMA. 3 experts plus the NORCAP were seconded at ICPAC. The goal is to leverage the expertise of the proposed personnel to advance ongoing projects aligning with SMA's climate service rescue plan, and also cooperative efforts of NORCAP, CIMA, and ICPAC. Their main duty is to ensure the seamless connection with SMA and national civil defense insights for short, mid-term forecasting of weather variables. Also to determine the thresholds of extreme weather events and operationalize them in impact-based forecasting system, and enriching the current impact-based bulletin supplied by CIMA, CIMA Research Foundation on a daily basis. We are trying to develop it by conducting analysis and research here in ICPAC. So also to provide experts analysis and assessment as requested to enhance the humanitarian impact-based forecast. Also support the implementation of drought monitoring, one of the components of the early warning project of CIMA in Sudan, including the impacts, which is with a dedicated configuration for Sudan, and also to assist in feasibility to enhance the numerical weather prediction over Sudan, and seek the linkage on application with hydrological applications on these numerical weather predictions. These are my colleagues, Muhammad and Dalal. We are the three based at ICPAC nowadays for 6 months to do these tasks. In ICPAC, we had opportunity to have talk to our regional partners and the humanitarian officers of ICPAC, and then we have a chance to attend the meeting of climate security, which is the nexus between climate and conflict, organized at IFRIC. So this is a photo with Deputy Executive Secretary of IGAD, and we share our experience and possible ways of collaboration for Sudan case. So here also our engagement with our partners. Also, this is a photo for Egypt, in Egypt, March 2024, Water at Heart of Climate Action. This is a consultation workshop in Egypt under UNDRR Pillar 1E. So our management were there with the CIMA to have collaboration and see how SMA can be benefits of this projects. Here is also a meeting in Nairobi of Water at Heart, Climate Action. This is also a consultation workshop, WMO Pillar 2. Also our participation. So for us in SMA, providing that we are in challenging situation of conflict, limitations of resources, losing our infrastructure, we have challenges facing us. One of them is how to continue providing the service amidst the ongoing conflict and its changes. It is dynamic conflict. How can we continue this? So one day there is some displacements ongoing, dynamic situation make us in difficulty to continue providing this service. And one station is accessible today, maybe it will not be accessible in the next month or so. So also SMA have been training staff for a long time and reached a good point. And now for this situation, we might lose our staff. So maintaining a trained staff of SMA is a challenge for us now because of the limitation of the resources, and continue provide climate change and early warning in light of the shortage of resulting from this conflict. So this makes us have serious logistic issues to maintain the staff. Also, the sustainability of ongoing service. Now we are benefiting from projects which have a timeline. So after the end of this project, how are we going to continue to do these activities is a challenge for us. We need to find ways and have some collaborations and some other projects and funds to get how can we to manage, how can we sustain these ongoing services, which we think are going in a good way now. How to rehabilitate observations, network and infrastructure that has been lost due to the conflict. This is a challenge for us. It needs a lot of resources to build a new infrastructure, reinstall and configure new stations. It's all financials that are important to address. Also, we need to continue to have a rescue for the data, because now we didn't rescue a lot of data. This is also a challenge for us. Besides, the challenge of getting funds might be affected by some political issues, which we think shouldn't be like that, because early warning for all initiative is targeting all people, regardless of their conflict, not in conflict. They should be considered for early warning, because early warning information are important even for displaced people and people in conflict, because of their humanitarian situation might be worse due to the climate events, due to the extreme events imposed by climate. Also, they are in not a good shelter, not a good housing. So it's difficult for them to resist the rainfall, heavy rainfall, and floods that might have health issues. It's more dangerous. It's more severe. The impact is severe with these humanitarian situations that we are in Sudan. And this is, I think, all I want to share with you. And I consider this session is a good for sharing ideas, collaborations, and innovations for us. So we are willing to hear if any innovations and ideas that can be shared with us and to address this situation, which is really challenging for us. And thank you for listening. And thank you, Varisian, for providing this platform to show our story to the audience around the world. Thank you very much for listening.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Dr. Musa. Now is the time if you have any questions, comments, or as Dr. Musa suggested, their ideas, initiatives that you could share. We have one question from Amar who said, what about utilizing the available satellite data and online analysis platforms such as EUMETSAT, open data and open analysis facilities to support your ongoing weather forecast production?
Yeah, very good. Very good question, Amar. We are actually utilizing those resources with the CIMA project. We are utilizing available data that are online. They use a platform called MyDuetra, where you can find a lot of resources and a lot of online data. We also, our website has map viewer. We have satellite. EUMETSAT satellite is there. All these facilities we are using because these are the ones which are accessible and easy to access. Yeah, we hope we are using this, and it's a very good opportunity for us to keep going. Yeah, thank you, Amma.
Thank you very much for that. The next question I have is, how do you manage and secure meteorological data in regions where infrastructure is often targeted or destroyed?
Through the CLIMSA project, the SMA was able to retrieve 50% of the data. You know, IGAT Climate Prediction and Application Center is a partner for us. So we were sending them our data for analysis. So now they're also assisting in getting back some data. And also some data are found with that archive with the staff members. We managed to recover some data. So it's not all the data, but some data are now recovered. We are trying to get the rest of the data, but it is difficult because the area is not accessible. It is right in the conflict zone. So maybe the data is damaged already, or maybe not. Nobody knows what happened there. We have tried with the Red Cross to get it back, but the response was like the situation is not easy to go there due to the ongoing conflict. And hopefully with any collaboration with international NGOs, you can have it back when things are accessible. Yeah, this is the situation of our database. We think that our data will affect all around the world because Sudan's area is very big. It's a large area. When you have this missing large area in the continent, it's difficult, and providing that Sudan has a very, very long history of database. Some stations have more than 1 year, 100 years data. So it's a very difficult to lose this data. We are trying our best to get it back by any means. Yeah, thank you.
Good to know. Thank you. The next question I will go to asks, how have you been able to source funding for continued operations for the meteorological service under conflict conditions?
Thank you for this question. We are able to continue this situation. It is our personal will added to the collaborations we have. There were ongoing projects. One of the main projects that are making us able to give these services, the CIMA projects, which was rescope to handle the current situation of Sudan. So with that, they were helping us in numerical weather prediction. They ran the models for us in Italy. They sent us some information. And also the people, Sudan meteorological staff were getting those information and sitting together in the 3 different locations, as I mentioned, in Egypt, in Port Sudan, and in Nairobi. They are discussing to get the product shared again. So the issues of forecast and warnings with the help of CIMA Research Foundation, and also mainly IGAT Climate Prediction and Application Center, which is accessible. The servers are accessible for us for many things. So only the collaboration make us at this point with the ongoing projects, which are, yes, there is scope to go with us in this. Also, a good thing, we have also NORCAP experts, which also they are together with us, organizing for the climate service frame and improving the numerical weather prediction at ICPAC. It's all about collaboration and the willingness of forecasters are not are almost motivated to continue this work regardless of the situation. Yeah, that's what we have, this good asset that we have started from. I'll just address this one. Thank you.
It's a very good point there. Collaboration is indeed very important, especially in situations like this. I believe we do have Zablon from NORCAP on the session now. Zablon, if you would like to comment or talk, just let me know, put me a message and I can turn your microphone on for you. I can see you've got your hand raised there. The next question I have is from Richard, who asks, do you have any specific means or procedures for sending early warning messages to migrants and refugees on the move?
This is a very good question. Currently, it's difficult for us to do this on the ground. But I think with the NGOs and humanitarian players, they can assist in this conflict situation. This is where we need their assistance to access those areas, humanitarian areas. But we are like issuing the forecast and publishing in the available media, television, radio stations, like this ones we are doing. But we need to access people who are in critical stations, critical situations, displaced people. And this one we can, maybe the collaboration with the humanitarian actors will be better. It's important for humanitarian actors also to collaborate with us, because accessibility to the displaced people might be difficult without the early warning information, and also the situation of those displaced people might be worse if no information from early warning of SME. Yeah, so we hope this one will be improved by the more engagement with the collaboration with the humanitarian actors. Yeah, and thank you for this pointing this out.
Many thanks, Dr. Musa. I believe Faith from your organization has also made a good comment here along the lines of what you just said. She says disseminating early warning information to affected communities such as refugees remains a significant challenge. To address this, our rescue plan aimed to transform the way we work and collaborate with partners like media outlets, CSOs, and humanitarian organizations. I also have a question here from Al Shoma, which asks, Dr. Musa, how do you describe the data loss that occurred? What are the lessons learned and what are the emergency offices lacking right now? How we as Sudanese link with institutions worldwide to support SMA?
Very good, Shema. I think to describe the data loss, it is like an archive of digital data and an archive of undigitized data. This loss of data is due to having stored the data in one area. So lesson learned from that can be we shouldn't have a store in one station. We should have a backup in another city, a backup database in different locations in the future. Because now all the things that are staying in one place make us lose this one. Emergency office in Port Sudan we have, and well, of course, as we have in ICPAC here, we are in a good situation. But in Port Sudan, they are having serious logistic issues, and the office is not well prepared, but they are trying their best with the government there, and with the help of institutions worldwide, SMA can be supported logistically to maintain the service and keep going during this critical situation. As you know, Al-Shima, the staff are not getting the salaries, and they are working with the minimal resources. That's the challenges they have, and they need to be addressed. If there is some projects that they can be engaged to get some funding, at least to maintain the staff, and let them keep continuing until the situation is over. That's what I can say about it. And thank you for pointing this out, Shem.
Thank you. I think this relates to a comment that Mohammed has just posted in the chat here that says, securing funding to continue providing SMA services to the community is vital at this moment. We hope that this session will be a potential door to reflecting on the current situation in Sudan and addressing the serious needs that exist. So yes, you know, staff and retaining staff as well at this point is very important. And I think I'll just link this to another question from Amar, who says, do you think ML AI algorithms will play a role in handling part of the burden of daily work to overcome the shortage in staff? And is this feasible even after the conflict?
Yeah, this is AI and ML are getting now on the top priorities in our region. And even here in IGAD Climate Prediction and Application Center, they are working on generating seasonal forecasts using AI, but it's not fully finalized. But SMA staff should be trained and focused and put some effort on the AI because it is an emerging and the future will be AI. So I think this is important for all the staff members to be learning at this time and getting knowledge about AI and trainings that will help in the future. Thank you, Ammar, for pointing this out. By the way, Ammar is my colleague at SMA earlier, former colleague at SMA. and thank you for being actively looking for SMA solutions. Yeah, thank you, Ammar.
Thanks, Dr. Musa. We've had a comment from Martin, which could be of help. He said, Dr. Musa, I would request you to contact an organization Rusian has worked with in the past before called IEDRO in the US, who I'm sure may assist in terms of data rescue and filling data gaps. So after this session, I can certainly put you in touch with Martin and Dr. Rick Krauthammer as well, who run IEDRO, just to see what options there might be there in terms of securing the lost data. I will go to now Adele Alguel. During the circumstances that Sudan went through, did the meteorological work stop completely?
Not completely, only for a few days. Then we regrouped and we start, working online. The world, we are benefited from the COVID-19 things, and working online was thank God that there is a way to work online and to have meetings. So we were online work made us able to continue the reporting. As I mentioned, with the models run at Italy, we were able to have online meetings and continue our service. So our service has stopped only 1 week, and we are issuing our forecast. You can find them on the website, on Facebook, WhatsApp. Our report is always there, regardless of the situation in the ground. Yeah. Thank you for this question.
Thank you. I'll read out a couple of comments. Rabba says, thank you, Dr. Gassim. Really nothing stopping SMA. Many thanks for all who's supporting SMA. Sarah also said, thank you, Dr. Musa, for your expertise. Any idea of how we can restore the lost data again?
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah.
One question from myself. If you do have any other questions, the audience, please do pop them in now. We'll do another round of questions before the session comes to an end. I was curious how you prioritize the allocation of resources for climate services with limited accessibility due to the conflict.
You say it again, sorry.
How do you prioritize any resources that you have? Is there a process for prioritization?
Yeah, there's a prioritization. As I mentioned, it's like we don't want all things that are making our reports going on are the top priority. The priority for management is just the reporting and early warning should be continued. So some of our staff were not accessible, some are accessible. So the priority for them, just those who are available and willing to contribute under this circumstance, volunteering, they are considered. And the expenditure and all the minimum resources we have are directed just to finding the risk reports and early warnings going on. So SMA emergency office in Port Sudan is working on just prioritizing the things which are needs urgently, not need urgently. They are working on that and making things rolling until now under this difficult situation here. But as I mentioned, it's just the collaboration and the ongoing projects that make us in good position to do this work as it is now. So hopefully we will find some ways to sustain the work we are doing and get back our lost data and stations to normalize. Yeah. Thank you, Kati, for this question.
Thank you very much. I can't see any further questions in the chat here. Oh, I do have one from Mohammed Ali, who says, is there any type of communication with the states with agricultural activity which was partially affected by the conflict?
Yeah, we are communicating with all the sectors. Before this session, we had a meeting of early warning bulletin with sectors, with agriculture, hydrological sectors, early warning bulletin. We are trying to have a national multi-hazard early warning bulletin. Also, as a supported by SEMA project of early warning in Sudan. So we also communicate with the agriculture sectors and all this in the last Sankof, as I mentioned, we have organized the Sudan Climate Outlook Forum for the first time during this conflict. So all the representatives of the sectors and agriculture, all of them were there. We had co-production sessions with them. All actors are on board. They are all affected like us, but they have the temporary and emergency plan to keep things going on. And it's a good opportunity to have them through APIS project, the SEMA APIS project. We are working together for better early warning bulletin that's multi-hazard one. It's not fully operational, but we are achieving from it. Yeah, thank you. This is what I want to say about it.
Thank you. We have a couple of comments here from Faith and Mohammed. Faith says, we need organizations like SOF and WMO to intervene to rescue data, needs more funding and support. She goes on to say, unfortunately, funding flow to fragile and conflict states like Sudan is challenging. You can support us more by raising visibility and advocate for Sudan institutions. Mohammed said, maintaining our current staff is one of the utmost necessities. Losing our highly trained and experienced team members would be a devastating blow to Sudan, as it would not only disrupt the continuity of our services, but also result in a significant brain drain. The expertise and knowledge they possess are invaluable assets to our organization and the community we serve. It is essential we take all necessary measures to retain our staff, ensuring that their skills and dedication continue to benefit Sudan and its people. I think that's an excellent takeaway from this, is the value of people and their experience and skills. Mohammed Ali comes back and says, even those of the states that are under control of the rebel forces, with a question. Maybe you can.
Yes. For those states who are not accessible for us, we are not communicating actually. But the federal ministries are responsible for this, and they give us information that we can have. But for us, we communicate with the accessible states only under the control of one of the Sudanese army control. So, as you know, the structure, organizational structure of those ministries, we don't intervene in the local, for example, Ministry of Agriculture of North Darfur, South Darfur State, for example. But we communicate with the Ministry of Agriculture. Now this is happening, and all the accessible states. Yeah.
He says, thank you, Dr. Musa. I think if we have no further questions, I'll give it a second because I always seem to miss one at the end here. I just want to say thank you, Dr. Musa, and your team as well, for giving us a real insight into the reality of attempting to continue to provide these climate services in such fragile times. And I think we can all commend you for doing such a wonderful job in trying to keep this going. And If there is a way that anyone on this webinar is able to help, do get in touch with myself or reach out to Dr. Musa perhaps. His team are in the chat as well. I will give you the contact details of our colleagues at IEDRA as well, and see if maybe they will be able to assist in terms of the data rescue or digitization. Everyone's saying, thank you very much, Dr. Musa, for your presentation. So I will put this on demand on the network, and that will be shared out with everyone. I'll try and get the presentation file as well. But we would be more than happy to have you back, Dr. Musa, hopefully in more peaceful times, so you can tell us how everything is progressing in Sudan.
Yeah, big thanks for Varisian Network, Kati, of course, for giving us this opportunity. And I'm happy to share this with you. And thank you, my team, for great work they are doing under these circumstances. Of course, they are doing very hard under a very difficult situation, but their work is rewarded by now. The service is continue under this situation, and hopefully the situation will become better. We are happy to have any collaborations, any support who are willing to support us. We are happy to have you on board, and thank you everyone for listening to us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Musa. Thank you for coming, everyone. Bye-bye.